Welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It is time for our Southwestern Athletic Conference baseball talk, and we are fortunate to have on the line with us Coach Olin Parker. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm good, Brother Mike. How are you?
Well, man, I'm okay. Could have been better. I kind of put my foot in my mouth over the past week. I was saying if the Panthers didn't sweep Alcorn, I would have considered it a disappointment, and I guess I may have jinxed them, my man.
Well, stuff happens, man. That's why they play the games on the field.
Well, with that being said, some interesting moves as far as Jackson solidifying themselves in that number 4 spot out of the East, and no one seems to want to take that full charge other than Grambling from the West. So I guess just wrap us up with the updates, man, and bring us up to speed.
All right. So over the weekend, Grambling took 2 out of 3 from Southern. Prairie View, surprisingly, only won 2 out of 3 at Alcorn. But what helps is that TSU only won 2 out of 3 from Pine Bluff. Over on the east side, Alabama State swept Bethune-Cookman. Jackson State helped themselves on the 4th spot by winning 2 out of 3 from Alabama A&M. And FAMU swept Valley.
Yeah, it's interesting as we speak, but as we've turned this corner now, we got somewhat of a clear picture of who's who as far as potential standings go from the East and the West right about now, huh?
Absolutely. Things are shaping up, Mike. Well, after this week, we have a clearer picture also, because you got Alabama State playing FAMU. You got Bethune playing Jackson State. You got Valley playing Alabama A&M. Over on the west side, you got Southern. They going to UAPB. They're in dire needs of a sweep or 2 out of 3. Grambling hosting PV. That should loom big. 1 out of that could be in first place. And you got Alcorn playing TSU. So I know TSU's in the rearview mirror just watching, but they need to sweep that series.
Well, that's why I was thinking it was so critical for the Panthers. I thought they had all the momentum playing at home against Alcorn, who obviously has been struggling. If they could have gotten that sweep there going into the series with Grambling, would have really loomed big. But now it appears, from my position outside looking in, that the Panthers are slightly behind the 8 ball when it comes to trying to take over sole position of first place against Grambling this week.
Absolutely, Mike. If you look at the race is pretty tight. But when you go to the complete standings, you got Grambling sitting at 13-4, Prairie View sitting at 10-4. Prairie View could have been 10-3. That would have been a lot better for them. You got Texas Southern at 8-5. You got Southern at 8-7. I don't think any of them 2 guys will be in trouble as far as making a tournament. Well, over on the other side, man, you got Alabama State and FAMU at 15-3. They're rolling, man. They're balling over there. Bethune-Cookman lost, I think, 3 one-run games to Alabama State, and they're at 11-5. They could have easily been like 14-2. So that side over there is the hot race.
Yes, it's somewhat troubling. Now, when we talk about the standings from the West, and help me if I'm off here, Prairie View, I had them at 12-5 right now after this past weekend, or are they?
They should be 12-5. That's right.
Okay. So Prairie View's 12-5, and then Southern is right behind Prairie View, and Texas Southern right behind Southern. So it is really and truly, as they say, a log jam. And I'm going to blame it on you, OP. It's your fault. It's your fault that it's a log jam in the West, man.
Well, I'm a big boy. I can take it, man. But they got to play the games on the field, man. And I guess by Texas Southern and Southern not getting those extra games in, those 2 games, I think that's going to come down to sacrifice somebody from being either third or fourth. But
no doubt. They're going to definitely have to. And don't forget the game between Southern and Prairie View. Those are two games that I can't see a way that you don't complete those games right now.
Right.
So we got a mess on our hand coming down the road, my man.
Yes, we do.
A pure mess.
That's why you love the sport, Mike. It's played on the field, and you can't predict the champion as soon as the season starts.
No doubt about it. And look, I'm not going to beat this dead horse, but it goes back to a conversation that we had. I'm going to pivot now to the midweek game that Prairie View had against Texas A&M. Had a 3-0 lead at one point. Went in with the starting pitcher, and he went 3 innings. And when he got around that second and third time of seeing those A&M batters is when they started honing in on him. And I kept saying, hollering, pull him out, pull him out, pull him out. That was one that got away, even though it appears of a 10-run rule out of 7 innings. They had that game, man, and they gave up 10 runs in that 4th inning, and the wheels just collapsed.
Well, Mike, sometimes when these guys play on the big stage, man, they just don't finish. They don't finish. They act like, the game ain't 3 outs in, and they just don't finish, man. You got to finish what you start. It ain't that hard if you just play like you know how to play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I'm a big advocate of that bullpen by committee when you have that lesser of a threat coming from the bump as your opponent would. No doubt that the Power 5 program at A&M there, but you could hear that those guys are just frustrated, and Panthers were holding their own. That 4th inning, man, the wheels just fell off, man, and hopefully they can move forward. And when I say they, not just Prairie View, but all of our Swac brethren, even in tournament play, OP, I know we have a set rotation that we like, but sometimes you got to just change things up slightly to give you an inside track, in particular when it comes to win or lose and it's time to go home.
Yeah, you got to match your opponents, Mike. You got to do your pitching matchup to match your opponents.
Yes, sir. Take those odds, because I don't care who you are. 9 times out of, I'll say 7 out of 10, that pitcher is going to be slightly ahead of the batter, especially if he only gets one look at him. So we'll see how they recalibrate their formulas moving toward Swac baseball tournament, which is, by the way, going to be on May 24th, man, from Atlanta, Georgia. What do you think about them switching that thing over to Atlanta?
Not a big fan, Mike, because you're playing on another campus of a school that's in another it's in a bad area to me. You're playing in Georgia, and there's no schools in the Swac from Georgia, which, probably the city is probably better to have it, but there's no schools that's representing the Swac. So, you're playing on Georgia Tech's campus. I'm just not a big fan.
Okay. Simply because it seemed like you're in the land of no identity?
Right.
Okay. Well, I don't know what's the projection of the game continuing to be in Atlanta, but we'll see in the very near future. Don't mean I'm not going to keep up with it, though. I'm a sucker for this Swac, in particular for Swac baseball, and I know you're a sucker for it too, my man, and we'll keep on moving and grooving, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, look, man, what's going on in the land of Baton Rouge, man, over the past weekend and the week that lies ahead?
Well, Mike, last week we had a tough game against nationally ranked, a tough series against nationally ranked Delgado. We got 10-run rule the first 2 games on Saturday. On Sunday, we dropped 5-4 game in the bottom of the night. So playing better. This weekend we got our last conference series against Nunez College, and then after that we'll be playing the conference tournament.
Okay, well, we're going to wish you well in that, my friend. And maybe we can get some inside tracks in between the games during your tournament, man, so we can get some open mic exclusives. What you think? We can pull something like that off, man?
Let's do it. We can make it happen.
Okay, then. Sounds good. Well, look, Coach, I enjoy getting with you, man, talking about this baseball thing from the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Let's let the folks know how they can round up and meet with old Pete.
Well, Mike, let me give you my top 10 for the week first.
Oh, you sure right, man. Look, I done got ahead of myself. I'm trying to push you out. I'm sorry, man. Rein me back in.
All right. So coming in, I got Jackson State at 10. Delaware State at 9. Coppin at 8. Prairie View Panthers at 7. TSU at 6. Bethune-Cookman at 5. North Carolina A&T at 4. Grambling at 3. FAMU 2. Remaining number 1, Alabama State.
All right, man. Look, I don't know if Jackson State got you on the payroll or what, but you.
Well, I figured they went on the road. They went on the road and did what they had to do. At least win 2 out of 3. Especially after you lost the first one, and They played a midweek game at Southeastern Louisiana and got 10-run rules. So, I said, man, these guys need to bounce back, and they responded well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it's always good, man. It keeps the conversation going, and it makes us, as I say, look at these things a little bit closer with a bit of more understanding of what's going on throughout the world of collegiate baseball. Well, Coach, as I stated a bit prematurely early, I do enjoy getting these baseball conversations in with you, my man. And now I'm going to give you your closing thoughts and your Yahoo Roundup.
All right. My name is Coach O.P., Olin Parker. I can be reached at olinparker65 at yahoo.com.
All right. He is Coach O.P. I'm the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Reminding you guys to follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. The YouTube channel is the Open Mic Broadcast Network, and our website is obnradio.com. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.